like you're getting one body back, maybe?
Yeah, we're getting one back, one character guy back, so that definitely is going to help our character. So we're welcoming Pager. Stoner's not in. Tomer's not in. Oduya's not in. So I guess we'll have to look at that for after the break.
And Mike Conan starts in goal?
Yeah.
What's your challenge tonight here, Coach?
Well, it's I mean, this has been an unbelievable team the last 2 months. I think they've gotten 20 points out of the last possible 21. They've been playing great. I think their young guys are ready this year to perform and at the NHL level, and that's what gives them a lot of depth. They get an outstanding first line that drives them, but I think it's more than that. I think their second, third, and fourth line are great meat and potatoes guys that are hardworking and don't give you much, and their goaltender's been outstanding. So I think all around, they deserve what they got in the last little while, and we have to deserve tonight getting a chance against them on that last game before the break for sure. Yeah.
Is there an update on him?
He wouldn't be able to play today.
Is there one specific thing that concerns you about the way your team's playing right now that's causing this latest slide?
Well, the first is the big concern is the injuries we've got. I mean, that we can't do anything about, which means that the players that are out of the lineup, they're out, and the players that are in, have to step up. Nobody's going to play Stoner. I mean, that's just a reality. When you're missing your top forward, you got to win in another way than the way he would do it, because you can't try to skill it like he would do it. But the way he does it is hard work, and I think we worked very hard against Mini. We worked hard against Toronto. We let that one go in the third period because I think we were got a little rattled in the third period. But that was a hard-working game where we could have had that. The one game is the St. Louis game, which we can't give ourselves excuses because it was a back-to-back. I didn't like the push. I didn't like the perimeter play. They're big defensemen, and we seemed intimidated by that, and that can't happen. And I know when you look at them, what they give against the opponent, they don't give anything inside. They got probably the biggest D-core in the league, and that's their biggest strength. But I don't think we did enough to pay the price to get in there and deserve goals, and that's why we didn't get any goals. We didn't get anything inside offensively, and that we can do better. And that has to be tonight. So every game's a different story. The Minnesota game, we got 38 shots in Minnesota. So we did enough to score. Their goalie played well, and we couldn't bury it. So that's a whole different story. It was a game until the very end. But I think in St. Louis, even though it was 1-0 after 2 periods, we didn't do enough. And we can't wait for the guys that are not there to be able to do it when they're back. And so I'm happy Pedro's back, but Thompson's a character guy that's not there, and Stone. That means other guys have to have the character we need to be able to give ourselves a chance, and that's where it's at today. We got to work this out. If they're meat and potatoes team and they're winning that way, well, we can't be a perimeter soft team that's coming out trying to skill it against a team like that. We have to push. We have to be hard, and then we give ourselves a chance for sure.
Howard Carlson. Can you pinpoint his struggles? Is he trying to do too much? Is it just still trying to come back from the foot problem?
Yeah, I mean, when you say just, that's a wrong word. The word just means that, it's nothing to come back from. I mean, when you're playing with a piece of somebody else's tendon in your foot and they're telling you it's going to take over a year to come back from it and be the same, but you want it to play, from October on, that displayed the character and the guy that wanted to be back here and wanted to get back as fast as he could, knowing that it would take time. So I'm certainly not going to stand here and start looking at him and say that he's not tried and he's not pushed and where his development should be, his biological comeback should be, and I'm not a doctor, but one thing is for sure, I know it's been extremely hard for him to be back. I know it's been extremely hard for him to get his game back, and he's worked hard at it. And there's moments where you definitely see, Erik Karlsson, but there's moments, obviously, he'll be the first to say that, I'm pushing, but it doesn't feel the same, but I'm going to keep on pushing and getting my game back. And so, and he's had really good moments, and for him, he's trying to be consistent at being himself. So it's not just, it's something extremely difficult when you miss an entire summer in a training camp. And so I have to respect the fact that this guy has had a difficult year, because it's an extremely difficult situation to deal with, like any other big injury that guys are trying to come back from. And that's where I'm definitely with him on that.
What can you try and do to take advantage of a Bruins team without Marchand and McAvoy in their lineup? Two pretty important pieces.
Well, we're missing our important pieces too. So I don't think I'm not going to feel sorry for them or for us. We're going to play them the way we need to do to be good for ourselves, and we're going to expect them to be at their best, regardless if they're missing players or not. Because when you look at their lineup, they're firing from all cylinders, and throughout their whole lineup, I think they got an extremely hard-working group that pays the price. So, especially in the short term, I'm expecting that team to be really good. So and their goaltender's outstanding, so that won't change. So I think when you're missing top end guys for a short period of time, your team regroups really well and pushes. I think it hurts you more in the long run. And I think their team's going to be just as hardworking as they've been lately.
Were you pleased with Sean?
Sorry?
Were you pleased with Condon's game?
Yes. Yes. Very much so. He was solid. He was very good, and the goals that he allowed, none of them he could really have stopped. I think it was, we could have stopped it as a team. Not we, but I mean the defensemen and forwards, either because systematic mistake or an individual mistake. But I think he looked very good, very solid, and that's why right now I think the situation we're in, I think we can play both goaltenders and go with that. And I think he deserves to get a game soon before the break. That's what I thought, because of his performance. It was solid, and instead of waiting too long before we give him a game. I think we want to see him in nets. So I mean, you look at the mini game for me. It's we had 38 shots. They had 36. So it was a hard-fought game, and our guys pushed hard. And he was definitely at the core of that. He pushed hard. He had character. You could see he had he was fronting everything with competing attitude, because that's where he's at his best, when he competes, and that's what he did. So he deserves to go back in soon enough. Oh, mais il en a fait pendant qu'on n'était pas là. Il s'est fait tester avant. Ouais. C'est vrai qu'aujourd'hui, c'était juste pour voir s'il se sentait comme hier, puis avant hier. Ouais.
Qu'est-ce qui vous ramène
Pajot, ben écoute, nous autres, ce qu'on a besoin, de gars qui payent le prix, on a besoin de caractère. Quand on joue périmètre, là, on est pourri. Regarde, c'est tout simple que ça. Fait que après un match comme Saint-Louis qu'on a vu au dernier match, on va avoir des gars qui payent le prix. Fait qu'il tombe au bon moment. C'est un gars qui rentre dans le tas, c'est un gars qui back-check, c'est un gars qui est premier sur la rondelle, c'est un gars qui va devant le filet, c'est un gars qui se force à l'intérieur, c'est un gars qui joue dans le fond de notre zone, qui triche pas. Fait que moins que tu as de joueurs comme ça, ben moins que tu as l'air de ce que tu vas avoir l'air. Fait que plus tu en as, ben tu sais. C'est pour ça que, tu sais, au moins, si Stone puis Thompson ne sont pas là, puis c'est des gars comme ça, fiables, hard, qui font les bonnes choses, les bonnes manières, ben au moins il y en a un des trois qui sont revenus aujourd'hui. Ça, c'est très positif pour nous autres. Parce que, tu sais, on peut l'utiliser contre les meilleurs joueurs. Fait que ça, c'est gros.